What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another 5-year rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. And with the breaking news that Kevin Durant is going to ultimately stay with the Brooklyn Nets, I thought, why not? Let's go ahead and use them today in a 5-year rebuild. So this news kind of does come after Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving both did request trades earlier this summer. Ultimately, they're both going to be on this roster moving forward. Now, where does that necessarily project the Brooklyn Nets in terms of contenders? I think they're definitely up there, especially in the East. I think the teams I would put ahead them 100% are probably the Celtics, the Bucks. You can argue with the Sixers and the Heat. It all really does depend on how many games both KD, Kyrie, Simmons all really end up playing together. But without a doubt, all three of these guys, hopefully healthy and playing, this team should definitely be a contender. Kevin Durant is obviously locked up on a 4-year deal, and I have no plans to trade him throughout this video. He's going to most likely be here the entire time. Before we do get into it, man, the road to 40K is officially started. So if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, we greatly appreciate and greatly enjoy having you here in the community. That being said, if you guys do have any other video ideas, feel free to comment them down below. Of course, we're looking to get into some more challenges before 2K23 does drop. So I don't know how much more breaking news we'll have this offseason. This is probably going to be most likely the end of it. So we're kind of winding down these certain player rebuilds, and we're going to move into a couple challenges before 2K23 does get here. But I apologize for the long-ass intro. Let's hop into it. Kevin Durant officially staying with the Brooklyn Nets. Let's see if we can get them a championship. It has obviously been a pretty painful offseason for both the Nets and Nets fans, I'm sure. Seeing two stars want to leave your team really raises the blood pressure levels. With that being said, they're both going to be here for at least this year. Let's get into this roster and kind of see if we can maybe make this team win a championship, because I think they definitely have the talent to do so. That being said, obviously Kyrie doesn't play every game. I mean, nobody plays every game, but you know what I'm saying? Ben Simmons hasn't played a game, and God knows how long. He hasn't played a game at all last season, and since the playoffs, I guess, when the Atlanta Hawks kind of took the soul out of him. And then Kevin Durant obviously does play, but he's kind of getting up there in age. That's obviously still Kevin Durant. So let's go over this roster. This is a big three that has never played together, and it's going to be interesting to see how they both mesh in real life and in this game. So Kyrie Irving is here, picked up his player option, so he is an expiring deal technically. I know the Lakers rumors are out there. I don't really see another team connected to him, maybe besides the Lakers, that he'd probably want to leave the Nets for. There's been some teams thrown out there, but I just don't see these teams having enough cap space to maybe go after him in upcoming free agency. I know the Lakers getting rid of Russ's contract probably puts them pretty close. I'm sure there's some other tweaking they'll have to do. With that being said, we're going to do everything I can to keep Kyrie Irving here. He's obviously a perennial star, superstar, whatever you really want to call him. Kyrie Irving is one of the best point guards in the league. Ben Simmons will be starting. It will not be at the point guard spot. We're going to find a place for him in this rotation, whether that means we start Kevin Durant at the small forward spot, play Ben Simmons at the 4, or I can maybe play Kyrie at shooting guard. Whatever it may be, Ben Simmons will be here. I think where the Philadelphia 76ers kind of screwed up Ben Simmons in general, and I don't know how many people will agree with me on this. He's obviously a playmaking big man. That's what he is, and they play him at point guard, obviously. I think playing him at point guard kind of screwed up a lot of things. I think if you just stuck with him, I don't want to say stuck with him, but if you put him at the 4, I don't really think it would have been that big of a deal. I mean, there are 4s in this league like Kevin Durant who do ball handle, albeit not all the time, but just an example. Kevin Durant, obviously, a very different type of mold. He can shoot the basketball, but I'm going to find a spot for Ben Simmons, and hopefully it works out, because I really want to see Ben Simmons' career turn around. We got Cam Thomas here, who's a guy that does progress super well. I've seen him get all the way up to an 85, 86 overall in these rebuilds, so I'd be happy to have him here. That being said, he might not be in the starting lineup just based off progression. I mean, in real life, he'll probably not be in the starting lineup. Seth Curry, obviously a tremendous three-point shooter. I am excited to have him here. We'll see how long he can last on that 1-year deal. They signed Edmund Sumner to a 2-year deal this past offseason. They also re-signed Patty Mills to a 2-year deal. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that, he's going to be a 71 overall in real life, but he obviously regressed a little bit. Gave him a 2-year deal. There's no option, I believe, or anything like that. So we'll figure out what we want to do with him. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be playing just based off how he regressed, but we're trying to win basketball games here, and having a 71 overall in the rotation is probably not the way to do that. TJ Warren obviously has been injured, signed a 1-year deal with this team. Kind of an underrated pickup if he can obviously be healthy and kind of contribute for them. There's going to be so many different variety of lineups that the Brooklyn Nets can kind of go out and run, and I'm going to be really interested to see what they kind of go with their starting five. Let me know down below in the comment section right now. What do you predict, hypothetically being, if everybody's healthy, on opening night. Well, I don't think Simmons will actually be healthy. Will he be? I don't know. What do you predict that the Brooklyn Nets starting five will look like? Let me know. Joe Harris here, obviously another really good three-point shooter. Would like him off the bench. Royce O'Neal came over in a trade with the Utah Jazz. Obviously, that Kevin Durant news broke, and then immediately there was like Brooklyn Nets trade news, and everybody was like, holy shit, and then it was just Royce O'Neal. So he's here, another depth piece. Kessler Edwards re-signed with his team on a 2-year deal, or it's a 1-year deal with a team option in the second season as well. So Kevin Durant, 4-year max deal, basically asked out before that it even kind of kicked in. It's weird because I think the Kevin Durant trade rumors kind of ended before they even started. I mean, when you look at what, the Utah Jazz kind of got for Rudy Gobert and what was it, 6 draft picks, whatever the hell it was, that's an insane haul. Albeit a lot of those picks will probably be in the mid-20s. That's still a lot to give up. That's a lot of your future to give up for one player, and that was just Rudy Gobert. So the market was already kind of screwed up in the first place. And then on top of that, you got a guy asking for a trade who basically just signed a 4-year max deal. And that does not come around every single day. So that Kevin Durant trade value was basically as high as it could possibly be. Ultimately, I really didn't think there was ever going to be a package that would seem kind of fair for both sides. Definitely not one I thought the Nets were going to accept. KD had 1 or 2 years left on his deal. I definitely thought the deal would have gotten done with some team, whether it be the Celtics, the Heat, the 76ers, the Raptors, whatever it may have been. I thought that would have happened, but ultimately with 4 years, he doesn't really have as much say. That limited it. He ended up staying and committing to this team. The Nets kind of called his bluff in every single way. I mean, they really did. And, he's here now, and he's going to be playing for this team. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but Kevin Durant's a Brooklyn Net, and we're going to try to win the championship with him here. Nick Claxton re-signed on a 2-year deal this offseason as well. I'm excited to have him here. Good young center. And then they do Durant Sharp here. So that was a very hefty and long roster overview. We're going to have to go ahead and figure out this rotation because obviously there is a lot of moving parts. I'm not going to have Ben Simmons come off the bench when he's fully healthy. He's probably the 3rd best player on this team. So let me go ahead and figure out what I want to do with this rotation, how it's going to look, and I'll show you guys it before we do start Sim in the first year here in Brooklyn. Here's the way I'm going to have the starting 5 look for the first season. Now, no, this is not supposed to be an actual projection of how I think the Nets starting 5 is going to look. Reason I'm having the starting 5 like this is for a multitude of reasons. One being I want to progress Cam Thomas as much as humanly possible. I've seen him progress really well. I think getting him into that starting 5, maybe starting him over a guy like Seth Curry is a smart move in the long run. This is a 5-year rebuild. We do have to think about the future as well. On top of that, it's really the only way I can kind of see it making any sense. You can make the argument, play Simmons at the point guard, start Kyrie at shooting guard, maybe keep KD at the 4, then slide TJ Warren into the 3. I don't necessarily mind TJ Warren coming off the bench and kind of anchoring that second unit. And if I'm, again, thinking long-term, I care a lot more about Cam Thomas than I do TJ Warren, who was probably gone after this season just because we won't be able to re-sign him for how much money he's asking for in this game. So, good, Vanguard update. I haven't played that in a year. That being said, this team is really, really good. And I think there's definitely a possibility that we win a championship. So here's how I'm going to roll it out. It's going to be Kyrie Irving and Cam Thomas in the backcourt, as I mentioned. Kind of gave you my explanation on that one. I moved KD down to the 3. I'm starting Ben Simmons at the 4. I don't want to start a guy that can't shoot a basketball at the starting point guard spot. Look, I know the point guard spot isn't necessarily all about shooting and, being able to hit threes and everything like that. It has a lot to do with playmaking and all that stuff. But in today's NBA, you kind of have to, for the most part, be able to shoot as a point guard. I mean, there's obviously some exceptions to that, but it's so much more of an important part of the game than maybe it was like prime Rondo era. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start Simmons at the 4, obviously a perennial historic defensive player. Really, really good defender. And then Nick Claxton's going to be starting at the center spot for us. No surprises there. The bench unit, it's going to be anchored by TJ Warren, as I mentioned. We obviously don't play with injuries on, so he's on a very cheap deal. Obviously, TJ Warren is a good basketball player when healthy. I'll be interested to see how he does in Brooklyn this year. Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Durant Sharp, and Edmund Sumner. Actually moved Joe Harris to the starting power forward spot. His overall didn't even take a hit. I moved Seth Curry to the backup point guard spot. Overall actually went up 1. Other than that, I left this team exactly the same way it was. So guys like Royce O'Neal and Kessler Edwards will most likely get minutes in real life. Here in today's video, when we're going to be maxing out at a 10-man rotation, I don't really see a way to make that work. So that's how we're going to do it for now. This team should probably be close to the top of the East, and hopefully we can maybe win a championship here in year 1. See you guys at the end of the first season. So we end up as a 4 seed here at the end of the first season. Now, I don't think that's a crazy unrealistic spot for the Brooklyn Nets in real life. That being said, there's a lot of factors that do go into that. I mean, obviously, Ben Simmons, I don't know if there's an exact return date on him yet. I mean, We'll see. And obviously Kyrie. But I would imagine Kyrie Irving does play more games than he has last season anyways. And obviously KD still leading the charge. But a 4 seed's not crazy unrealistic for this team. Luka Doncic, MVP. Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year. Trae Young. I keep forgetting to go into this file and change his position. I'll try to remember to do it in the offseason. Claxton actually wins Most Improved. Just under 9 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1.5 blocks a game. I'll take that from our big man center. And Willie Green, Coach of the Year, head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans, as I'm sure you all know at this point. Basically a cheat code in this game. So we finish up with a record of 50-32. That is honestly not terrible. The teams ahead of us, where the hell are the Milwaukee Bucks? Oh yeah, I forgot the Bucks somehow always suck in this game. I don't know why. They just do. It's weird. In this like updated file that I use for these offseason 5-year rebuilds, it's weird. So Kyrie leads us in score. Whoa. Cam Thomas outscores Kevin Durant. Now, that is not something I thought I'd see coming for the first season, but hell, I'll take the progression out of him. And as I mentioned, I think I kind of made the right choice with starting him, but I'm happy nonetheless. Kevin Durant, I don't want to say underwhelming season, but like maybe a little bit on the lower end for a guy like Kevin Durant and, you know, how good of a basketball player he is, but he is 34. I can maybe see him regressing like a little bit, but like not really. Ben Simmons with 13 points a game, around 7.5 rebounds, 8.5 assists, so very effective, and I'm honestly very fine with that. TJ Warren anchoring that second unit. Nick Claxton, obviously our most improved player. Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Edmund Sumner, Durant Sharp, and then a couple other bench pieces for us. I'm interested to see, how did Curry and Harris shoot from 3? 45% for Joe Harris from 3. Wow. Impressive numbers. We got Toronto here in the first round. Let's take a look at their squad. They got Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and Pascal Siakam. It's a very good team. I mean, you know what the Raptors are. They're maybe not necessarily contenders with that team, but they are a very, very good basketball team. So that being said, we are up 3-0 here in the first round. We close them out in a sweep. Moving on to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, this would be a fun matchup, obviously, for a multitude of reasons. You know, you got James Harden playing against his old team. Ben Simmons really kind of makes this series the most entertaining factor now that he is playing. And let's see if we can hopefully get the W here against the 1-seeded 76ers. It's Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. D'Anthony Melton was a draft night trade from the Memphis Grizzlies, I believe. They got Jalen Smith now, Hassan Whiteside, Nicholas Batum. Obviously, that bench isn't accurate because this is not an updated shared file. This is basically me going in and editing each team that I do use throughout these 5-year rebuilds. So we're up 3-2 right now. Can we close them out and face the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals? No, not yet. We are going to a Game 7. Can we win? We do not. We lose to the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden, Joel Embiid get the best of us here in the first season. It's a Philadelphia-Boston matchup. It's Memphis and Dallas. Wow, the Pelicans not in the finals in the first season. That's a weird feeling and a weird kind of, you know, off season, if you will. Celtics get a little bit of redemption. Jason Tatum balls the fuck out, wins his first career finals MVP. Hopefully one of many, I will say, as the diehard Celtics fan in me. But yeah, it's not a bad first season. Obviously, the year prior, they were coming off a sweep to the Boston Celtics. So, you know, getting to a Game 7 in round 2 is definitely progress, and obviously I will take it here. So, draft lottery, we do not have any draft picks. Definitely not anything in the lottery. This is probably not going to be one of those rebuilds where we're really having a high. Oh, good, the Pelicans. That's exactly what they needed. We're not going to be really having any high picks probably throughout this rebuild. I'm fine with that. Steve Nash. I know Kevin Durant wants him gone. I think Kyrie Irving's in on that as well. No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Steve Nash is a good head coach because I just firmly do not believe that he is. But he does have pretty good ratings here. I'll look at some candidates. I obviously know that Stauffer's here, and he's obviously legitimately a perfect head coach. You also got a guy like Taylor Jenkins here, who I think is an underrated head coach in this league. You know, I hate how they do this new system, like Steven Salas. Like, just give me the head coaches first. Like, I hate it. I'm going to fire Steve Nash. I'm going to bring in Stauffer. You know, in a rebuild with 4+ more years, I'm not going to stick around for the Steve Nash experiment. I know that originally when KD and Kyrie went to the Nets, they kind of wanted a coach or a player's coach, if you will. They need some tough love at some point. So, yeah, we do have the 23rd overall pick in round number 2. That being said, this team does have a lot of depth. And, yeah, if you're a fan of realistic moves, this is where we're going to kind of check out from those. Not that I've really done anything at this point, but this is not a realistic rebuild, so let's make some trades. I just gave a big, long speech about how we're probably not going to have a lot of high draft picks in today's video. That being said, if I can get the 8th overall pick for Joe Harris, I'm going to go ahead and do it. This obviously will not go through straight up. Look, Joe Harris, obviously incredible shooter for us. Just shot 45% from three. A very serviceable role player on this team. That being said, that contract, I'm not paying Joe Harris $20 million. I'm just not doing it. So we're going to try to get the 8th overall pick. They obviously did not want to do that straight up. The unfortunate thing is we look at the players we have under contract. Edmund Summer can go. That's fine by me. But other than that, we don't really have any other assets. So we're going to try to have to work in something for this 8th overall pick. I'd rather not give up any other first if possible. Oh, wow. They agreed to that. So I'm thinking of like the biggest needs this team has. And like, honestly, I'm not going to try to trade up anymore. I'll just kind of see who's available for us and we'll go from there. Obviously, I'm sure Victor and Scoot went 1-2. They did. Cameron Whitmore, Gregory Jackson, Anthony Black, Tyrese Proctor, Dariq Whitehead, and now we are on the clock. So Alger Thompson's here. Nick Smith is here. These are both guys that, I have obviously pretty sure are highly ranked prospects. I believe they're actually both projected to be like top 5-6 picks currently. So, small forward is definitely a possibility. We look at the guys who were backing up Kevin Durant at the position last year. It was like TJ Warren. I know that, who else was there? We had Royce O'Neal. But I'm also thinking of if maybe I want to dumb it down to a 9-man rotation. Is that really a possibility? And I honestly think it kind of is. So maybe I draft a guy like Nick Smith who can maybe go ahead and back up. What the hell is this fucking name? I'm forgetting names. I always forget names in these rebuilds. Cameron Thomas, who just had an unbelievable season for us. Nick Smith's going to be my pick. Welcome to Brooklyn. He is going to be, let's check his overall, a 78 overall. I'm excited to have him here. He's going to be a good bench piece for us, hopefully. Backing up Cam Thomas, who just had, I honestly don't know how he didn't win Most Improved. Kind of insane. Royce O'Neal going to go ahead and pick up I'm going to pick up everybody's option just because we are in an unrealistic rebuild at this point. Devontae Cook, no thank you. So Kyrie Irving's obviously our number 1 free agent. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pay the man. He does have 7 offers, only 1 real offer, that coming from the Houston Rockets, but I'm going to pay him. I hopefully think that should be fine. 5-year max deal with a player option. I'm not trading Kyrie Irving, so we'll throw in that no trade clause, and it does look like he is interested in coming back here. I'll bring back Seth Curry. He wants around $5.5 million for 3 years. That's honestly not too bad. It's very doable. Warren's obviously gone. I mean, we don't have any sort of rights on him. It was a 1-year contract. So he's going to get paid. That's typically just how the pay scale works here in 2K. So let's take a look at this roster right now. I think this team's pretty much in the spot that we kind of need to be. That being said, I would be kind of fine with kind of maybe dumbing it down to either a 9. I can maybe stick at a 10-man rotation if I want to get Kessler Edwards some minutes. But Royce O'Neal, he does have an A+ 3-point shot, but is he going to regress? And he's also on the final year of his deal. So if I can maybe trade Royce O'Neal either for a draft pick or a starting or a backup caliber power forward that I'm very comfortable with, maybe on a multi-year deal, that's probably the only way I kind of do it. Like Otto Porter, maybe, but just again, the 1-year deal thing, I'm not too big of a fan of. Dean Wade, what is this pick here? It's from the Jazz. I'm assuming they still do have Donovan Mitchell. They do. This team low-key could suck, though, but it is a top 10 protected pick, so it really doesn't entice me too much. It's a Denver Nuggets pick. Honestly, because you know what? I'm actually going to do that trade because obviously we might not get it this year, and if we do, it'll be at like 11 or further. But if it somehow lands in the top 10, we'll have their unprotected pick next year. And I like making trades like this with a team whose pick it's another team's pick. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trading with the Thunder, but it's a Jazz pick. You know what I'm saying? So we're sending Royce O'Neal, funny enough, for a Utah Jazz pick. We're sending him to Oklahoma City. We'll now sign a backup stretch 4. Maybe not a stretch 4 with Larry Nance Jr., but like, I don't know. It doesn't need to be anybody amazing. Or maybe you know what? Honestly, let me go 9-man rotation. We'll just have Kessler Edwards run both the backup 3 and the backup 4. I'm honestly fine with that. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2 here in Brooklyn. This team had a couple changes. There were really nothing too huge. The starting 5 doesn't change at all. We lost a couple bench pieces. We traded one. We lost TJ Warren, and I still think we're in a good spot to compete and hopefully contend. Here's how it's going to look. Kyrie Irving, Cam Thomas. We obviously gave Kyrie Irving an absolute bag, something the Brooklyn Nets have been a little bit hesitant to do. I know they offered him the deal, but there was like games played, incentives, and stuff like that for how much it would actually be worth per year. I get it, but I also don't. Like, there's a couple of aspects of me that I'm sitting here saying, like, look, not every player has that, so you may consider it unfair, especially with your status as a star in this league. But, like, there's also the fact of the matter is, like, they're only asking you to do your job and play games. Like, is it really that hard? So I don't know if any Nets fans or anybody else has opinions on that down below in the comment section. Obviously, there's really no way to do that here in 2K. Not that I would really probably do it anyways, but we gave Kyrie Irving a bag. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know if he's 100% sold on going to LA next year in free agency, But if he doesn't, he stays with the Nets, what is that contract going to look like? And do you think it's fair that Kyrie Irving has the games played incentive in that potential deal? So let me know your thoughts on that. Cam Thomas, obviously coming off a year that he just outscored Kevin Durant in a really, really solid first season for us here in Brooklyn. I'm excited to see, hopefully, his continued progression. Maybe he can be our starting shooting guard for the entire video. Kevin Durant, probably a top 3 or 4 player on the planet. Ben Simmons just kind of found a really good role here for us. He hasn't obviously turned into maybe that stud number 1 overall pick. A lot of people thought he was going to be that franchise next LeBron James-esque player. But he's turned into a really good piece for us here in this starting lineup. Definitely the 3rd best player on this team. Defensive monster. I'm happy to have him. Nick Claxton hopefully continue to get better as he did win Most Improved Player for us last year. Now the bench unit. Nick Smith, I'm giving him 22 minutes in game. You might be saying, it's a rookie. Why are you doing that on a contending team? And I'm doing that because I want to progress him as much as possible. He's an 8th overall pick. He's not going to be in the starting 5. Giving him 22 minutes a night I think makes sense. Seth Curry, we re-signed on a 3-year deal. He's going to be backing up Kyrie Irving. Great shooter off the bench. We get Kessler Edwards into the rotation, being the backup of both the 3 and the 4. And then Durant Sharp going to be backing up Nick Claxton. Not really a guy I've talked about a lot, but serviceable backup big. We lost in the second round last year. We're hopefully going a little bit further this year. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2 here in Brooklyn. The second season here in Brooklyn is over. We are the 3 seed, so 1 seed better than last year here in the Eastern Conference. We're also 3rd in the power rankings. Always a positive sign. Luka's 2nd straight MVP, not a triple-double, so it doesn't count. Funny enough, I was actually watching the simulation at the beginning. We started out like 2-10. And I was like, what the fuck is going on with this team right now? But we somehow pieced it together. Ended up as a 3 seed. I think past the All-Star break, we were actually like a 9 seed. So we must have really stepped it up because I was watching the Yankees and the Mets on TV. I'm not going to lie to you. Scoot Henderson actually looks really, really good in that Wizards jersey. I'm not even going to lie to you. He looks really good in that Wizards jersey. He does win Rookie of the Year trade. I forgot to change his fucking position. This is why I need the live stream. I need you guys to tell me these things. Giannis wins D point. Jared Butler, most improved. Hell of a season for Jared Butler. Nate McMillan, coach of the year, head coach of the Atlanta Hawks. The Pelicans 1 seed over there, as you can see. We go 49-33, so we're actually 1 game worse than last year technically, but we were 1 seed better. So obviously that changes year by year, but 49 wins does take the 3 seed in the East, took the 2 seed in the West. Kyrie leads us in scoring, then it was Cameron Thomas. So, he appears to not be a 1-season wonder. He appears to continue to progress really well for us. Continue to put up really solid numbers. KD, again, taking a little bit of a back seat. He's 35, but I don't know. Ben Simmons, 15 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists. Tremendous, tremendous season for us. I mean, I love that. Nick Smith, off the bench, just under 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Obviously, was coming off the bench. But a very effective rookie year for us. Nick Claxton, Seth Curry, Kessler Edwards, and Durant Sharp round out this rotation. Rebounds was led by Simmons, and assists also led by Ben Simmons. So we got the Miami Heat here in the first round. A very talented team with Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, Bam Adebayo. They got Jalen Brunson coming off the bench. I think we're at the point in time where I see he's listed as a shooting guard, but you could probably find a way to start him. Over 78 overall, probably 37-year-old Kyle Lowry. So that being said, he's a very good 6-man. We're up 3-0 here on them, and we sweep them. So thank you for coming. It's really fun. When you obviously have a guy like Kevin Durant, you can always look at a series and say, hey, I definitely have the best player in it, unless you're facing like Giannis, basically in the East anyways. Let's take a look at the Charlotte Hornets, who have LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Zeke Naji, Khalil Ware. The LaMelo Ball effect in this game is real, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know. He ends up progressing all the way to a 99 overall, pretty much the only 99 overall. So, ahead of the other guys like Luka and Giannis that probably definitely deserve the 99 a little bit more than him. So, yeah, that's how LaMelo's progression basically works. We lost the first 2, then won 3 straight. Can we go to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in this video? And we do. We win 4 straight games against the Charlotte Hornets, who I don't know if they should be there or not, but nonetheless, we are here in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm looking over here in the West. It's just I'm getting such memories of the old Warriors and the old Thunder just going at it, man. I don't know, KD's old 2 teams here. It'd be funny if we could play one of them in the NBA Finals. Here's how the Cavs stack up. It's Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, Lowry Markkanen, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen. They got Love off the bench, THT, Alec Burks, Achai Agbaji. Oh, shit, did not mean to do that. We're 1-1 with them right now. We go up 2-1. We go up 3-1. Can we go on to the finals? Son of a bitch. Are we going to really blow a 3-1 lead? Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me, 2K. I want to face the Thunder in the finals. We are facing the Oklahoma City Thunder here in the finals. KD against his old team. Well, 2 teams ago, but you get the point. It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, Chuma Ukiki, Chet Holmgren. Obviously a very young team, but it is a very deep team. And it's one of those teams that, you throw in the 2K algorithm and the game really obviously likes them. So let's see if we can get by them here and get the Brooklyn Nets a championship. We're up 2-1 here in the finals. We go up 3-1. We close them out in game 5. We do. We win a championship. Kevin Durant, finals MVP at the age of 35. The man shows up when it matters most. That's always kind of the thing about KD. So we get a championship here in year number 2. I'll take it. I mean, a 49-win team just won a championship. It's not always kind of the case, but it worked out for us today. I do not think we're going to have... Oh, I saw that Nets. It's the Jazz pick. It's top 10 protected, so we're not actually going to have the pick if it stays in the top 10. Wow, it actually goes all the way up to number 3. If that was an unprotected pick, that would have been huge. But we do now have their unprotected pick next year, which will be cool. We're not going to touch Stauffer, obviously. The man has perfect ratings. You quite literally cannot get a better coach than him. We have no picks in this year's draft. I don't really feel like I need anybody. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'll bring back Durant Sharp. Cam Thomas obviously coming back. I'll be interested to see how much he ends up asking for eventually. Kessler Edwards was pretty good off the bench for us. I mean, I don't really have a reason to replace him or change him. Nick Claxton is... What? Seriously? Like, really? We're doing this today, 2K? Oh, man. Yeah, I mean... Are we really doing this? Oh, no, it's going to let me sign him now. I just don't know why that shit happens. I really, really don't, and it's really annoying, but, it's just one of those stupid-ass 2K things that they're probably never going to change. So Kessler Edwards, well, do we not have bird rights on him? Let me see. Is it going to let me re-sign Kessler Edwards now? I don't know why it's like not this with Kessler Edwards. I'm talking about the Nick Claxton thing. Like, what about his role would make him unhappy? Like, no, we can't even re-sign him. Is he restricted? Yeah, he's restricted. So he's going to get a qualifying offer no matter what. So he'll be coming back. And again, I'm probably really not going to change anything about this team. I might trade Seth Curry. He's a really good shooter to have off the bench. He's just getting up there in age and kind of hitting that point where he's going to start regressing. So let's look at some potential Seth Curry replacement trades. I'll do him, and I'll do a first in the future in a second, just so maybe I can get a good guy off the bench, maybe for the remainder of the video. A guy like Dalen Terry really has not played, but he is a guy who's young. I believe should have a couple more years of team control, as he was a first-round pick, so he has this upcoming season, then one more. It's honestly not horrible. Aaron Holiday, also a guy that's here, is an expiring deal, but would be a good replacement off the bench. So it kind of comes down to what am I looking for. And ultimately, I maybe could go the pick route. I mean, it just kind of depends who's here in free agency. Alex Caruso's old. I mean, you're obviously going to get the guys who are a little bit older at this point once you do enter free agency. Malachi Flynn, I'm actually kind of interested in him. Only 26 years old. You know what? Let's take a flyer on Malachi Flynn. Ultimately, he's backing up Kyrie Irving. He's not playing a ton, and now I can trade Seth Curry, maybe get some draft picks that I can use later in this video. So let's see some options for him here. That's a Clippers pick that's unprotected. It's just so far into the future. That unprotected Spurs pick. Yeah, can I actually have it, like, that's a Bulls pick. Can I have your pick? No, not Keldon Johnson. I'd like Keldon Johnson, but no. Can I have your pick this year? You interested in doing that? And how about I give you a first in 2027? And how about I just give you 2 seconds? Is that something you'd be willing to do? No. I'm not going to do 2 first. So I'll just take their first round pick, unprotected in 2026 for Seth Curry. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead. We get the replacement here for for Seth Curry. Backing up Kyrie Irving will be Malachi Flynn. The rest of the team's going to basically remain the same. Kessler Edwards will be Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons backup. He's either going to accept a qualifying or get a real deal, and I'll match it. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. It is year 3 here in Brooklyn, fresh off a championship. We make absolutely zero. Well, we made one small change. It's Malachi Flynn, but nothing really that's going to affect this team too greatly. This starting 5 is unbelievable. Funny enough, when you auto-set this rotation, the game actually wanted Durant Sharp, or Dayron, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, over Nick Claxton, which is weird. I'm not sure if that has something to do with the algorithm of Nick Claxton being all pissy and not wanting to re-sign with me. Obviously, I know it's not his fault. It's 2K, but it's just weird how that works. Kyrie Irving, Cam Thomas continues to probably be one of the best backcourts in the league, as they are 2 leading scorers. You got Kevin Durant at the age of what? Is he 36 now? Yes, he is. Ben Simmons and Nick Claxton. Hopefully, Katie doesn't retire. That would definitely set us back a little bit. It would free up some cap space, but I don't really want Kevin Durant to retire. Nick Smith going to continue to be our 6th man, second season for him. Had a really solid rookie season. Hopefully can continue to get better. Kessler Edwards continue to progress. Durant Sharp. And then Malachi Flynn. So the bench, it is what it is. It's not the best bench I've ever had. But this starting lineup is pretty damn good, and we just won a championship. So hopefully we can go back-to-back, continue to win. See you guys at the end of year 3. It is a clean sweep for Luka Doncic in the MVP department. Unfortunately, we do have to count this one as it was a triple-double. We take the 1 seed here in the East. So it's our first time being a 1 seed. It's hopefully over 50 wins. I mean, you would assume that the 1 seed's over 50 wins. But I'll take it. Caleb Foster, Rookie of the Year, is in Minnesota. Ben Mathurin, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis wins DPOY. Nikola Jovic, Most Improved. Stafford goes 63-19 with us and wins Coach of the Year. Very, very deserved with that record. 49 wins to 63 is an absolute thing of beauty. 9 games ahead of the Charlotte Hornets for the 1 seed. Oklahoma City Thunder, potentially maybe a rematch brewing to last year's finals. We will see. Cam Thomas, our leading scorer. I did not start off this video by saying Cam Thomas will probably be a lock here all 4 years, or 5 years, excuse me. That being said, he's making a really strong case. I don't want to trade him. I'm not enticed or thinking I'm going to trade him, but he's playing really well for us. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Nick Smith off the bench at 15 points a game. Shooting guards getting it done for us. Ben Simmons, very solid year again. A little bit less points per game, but again, I don't need him to score the basketball. Nick Claxton, just about 9 and 9. It's fine by me. Durant at Sharp, Kessler Edwards, and then it was Malachi Flynn rounding out this bench. Rebounds per game was Nick Claxton, and assists was led by good old Ben Simmons. So we are simming the play and see what we got here in round 1. It's going to be the Boston Celtics, the team that I believe won the finals in the first year of this video. We obviously won it last year, so let's see. Got a rematch here. Not a rematch. Well, rematch of a couple years ago, but you know what I'm saying. We got Peyton Pritchard, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Robert Williams. That's not a play-in team. I'm not really sure how they're in the play-in, but especially with, you got White and Smart and Ousmane Dieng and Paul Reed on the bench now. Jordan McLaughlin. What in the world are you guys doing? It's not a shot at Jordan McLaughlin. He just doesn't really fit that team. That being said, we're up 3-1 here, and the only time I want the Celtics to lose is when I'm playing them. Fortunately, we were just doing that. So, the Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, Chetty Osman, John Collins, Clint Capella. They got a Kongwu, Vanderbilt, Johnson, Adrian Griffin Jr. off the bench. Very deep team right there. You got the matchup of Trae versus Kyrie. We're up 3-1 here in round 2. 3-2, and we move on. We got a rematch with the Charlotte Hornets. As you can see, LaMelo Ball continues to progress. Him and Kevin Durant being the same overall. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't think LaMelo Ball has a really, really bright future in this league. He's already obviously a star, best player on the Hornets, but him being the same overall as Kevin Durant's a little ridiculous. Got to pump the brakes a little bit, 2K. This team, the only thing that scares me is LaMelo Ball. I just don't see a way that this team could possibly beat us. There's just no shot, right? Yeah. We got a rematch of last year's NBA Finals. It's another year of progression for the young OKC Thunder. They mix and match their starting 5 a little. It now looks like this. It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Dylan Mitchell, and Poku now enter the starting 5. I believe they were both off the bench last year. Obviously, Chet Holmgren, former number 2 overall pick, anchoring down that center spot. They also have Xavier Booker, who they just took 1st overall. So that's really interesting because he's, obviously the 1st overall pick, and you typically don't have him come off the bench. It's a weird move. Let's see what happens here and see if we can get our 2nd straight championship against the Thunder. And it's a clean sweep this year. Kevin Durant's 2nd straight Finals MVP. I mentioned earlier, when you need him to show up, the man shows up. We sweep the Thunder, and we have won 2 championships now in 3 years. We obviously have 2 years to go, and I'm not pumping the brakes. I'm going to continue to try to win championships here. And, that Jazz pick looks like it's going to be top 3 for us, and that would be sick if it could stay there. I actually got some comments saying if you want to sit through the draft lottery, it's almost like promise that your pick will stay where it's projected. I'm not sitting here for 4 minutes to sit through the lottery. I'm sorry. So we do end up falling to 6, which sucks. Is what it is. We really don't need that pick necessarily. I'm thinking of maybe replacements off the bench, but I don't know. What else would I really want to do with this team? Maybe upgrade Malachi Flynn. Well, let's just see who's available for us here with the 6th overall pick. I don't know this draft class at all. It was Nasir Cunningham, Jerry Easter, Isaiah Lohem, James Brown, Trenton Flowers. Doesn't appear that there's any point guards off the board for us so far. It also doesn't appear there's really any here that are that good in this draft class. So maybe I draft a guy like Trey Johnson. Maybe he could come in, be the new backup small forwards, maybe replace Kessler Edwards as he is a free agent now. He accepted the qualifying offer last year. Why not? Let's take Trey Johnson, not a guy I've ever drafted before. We also do the 30th overall pick. Honestly, this is not going to be a pick that I use. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to draft 2 options. We're either going to draft a guy with the best name, funniest name, whatever it may be, or the guy that looks the weirdest. Liam McNeely making a really strong case for that 2nd point right there. I'm thinking of name, though. Name's a lot more fun. Somto Cyril, Caden Cooper, Dennis Evans. I want like a fun name. Igor Demon. That's a fun name. Man, does he have a bowl cut? Oh, good God. Pacome Diet or Diet. These are some fun names we're coming. Aaron Bradshaw. Nice. Arias Bailey, Dallas Thomas. Jazzy Richardson, Yves Missy, Derek Queen. Oh, that might take it. That's a great name. Mike. Oh my God, I read that as Mike shit my pants, and I think I'm going to take Mike shit my pants here. I mean, there's just no way I can pass on that. There was a lot of strong names out of the 2025 draft class. Excuse me. Trey Johnson's going to be a 79 overall for us. I believe that's the same overall as Kessler Edwards, but he's obviously going to be cheaper. Then Mike shit my pants is going to be a 71 overall here for us. Nick Smith obviously going to be coming back. Kessler Edwards. I'm not just going to let him go. It probably does depend on what happens with him in free agency. If he gets a real deal, I'll either match it and then trade him or just let him go. If not, I'll get the qualifying offer and then I'll probably trade him. Cameron Thomas, huge free agent for us. Durant Sharp, also a guy I'd like to bring back. Mr. Fortnite Jacket at the draft. Kevin Knox, all-time bust. Not all-time bust, but he was a bust. Not going to be coming back. So, big free agent here in Ben Simmons. Definitely a guy I need back on this squad. I'm going to wait on Thomas. I'm going to wait on Sharp just because they are restricted, and then Kessler Edwards can kind of do whatever he wants here. So, other than that, I'm kind of fine letting everybody else kind of go. I think we're in a point right now where this team, obviously, is really, really good. So there's really not a reason to really change up too many things. This is a bargain contract right here for Cameron Thomas and how well he's been playing for us. I'm perfectly fine giving him that money. Durant Sharp's looking at about $13 million a year. That might be a bit pricey. I can kind of live with it, though. So obviously Cam Thomas comes back, and then Durant Sharp surprisingly taking a little bit longer than I thought he would on that deal. Jonathan, how well has he been playing? He typically, dude's a stud. So Kessler Edwards wants around $11.5 million a season. In any other circumstance where I didn't just draft somebody like a Trey Johnson, I'd probably pay him his money. And unfortunately, I'm just probably going to let him go. If he accepts the qualifying, he'll obviously be back, and then we'll trade him. But as of now, I don't really have a reason or really a need to bring him back. So that being said, we have 2 championships down. We're heading into year 4. Hopefully winning a 3rd. Kessler Edwards ended up accepting his qualifying offer. He has a no trade clause technically, but he still ends up being fine with offers. So we're going to send him to the Bucks, who for some reason end up typically sucking. I don't know why. That being said, it is a top 10 protected pick. We also get Derek Queen, a guy I was definitely considering taking. It's a really solid name, really strong name on him. I like it a lot. So first round pick here from the Milwaukee Bucks. We're now going to go ahead and set the rotation before the start of year 4. Fresh off 2 championships, we've officially gone back-to-back, and the starting 5 remains exactly the same. Funny enough, Nick Smith, up to an 85 overall. The game actually wants me to start him over Cam Thomas. Now, I didn't even think about it for a second. There's no way I'm benching Cam Thomas after how good he's been for us. It's just weird that the 2K algorithm kind of wants that. It's not like Cam Thomas is 35 years old or something. He's a young, recently paid, highest scorer on our team, 24-year-old, and you want him to come off the bench because the guy's 1 overall higher? It's a weird 2K thing. Him and Kyrie Irving remain our backcourt. Kevin Durant definitely getting up there in age now at the age of 37. 2nd overall pick in 2007. We're now going into the 2025-2026 season. That's absolutely insane. It's Ben Simmons and Nick Claxton in the front court. The bench unit, Nick Smith, Durant Sharp, Trey Johnson, our number 6 overall pick, and then Malachi Flynn. Let's see how this team can do. Hopefully a 3-peat. See you guys at the end of year 4 here in Brooklyn. I guess we all knew it was coming at some point or another. It happened here in year 4. LaMelo Ball, MVP. He's great. I don't get me wrong. As you can see, he's 98 overall. Is he ever going to average 30-plus points per game in his career? There's a very limited group of players that can do that. And, for me, I don't think LaMelo Ball is going to be one of them. He could prove me wrong, but I just personally don't see it. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know in the comment section. But, he's very overpowered, as you can see here in 2K. And very deserving of that MVP award. Jerry Easter, the 2nd Rookie of the Year. Poku wins 6th Man of the Year, found a new home with the Boston Celtics. Jonathan Isaac, new home with the Washington Wizards, wins Defensive Player of the Year. Paolo Banchero, Most Improved. What is this now? His 5th season? No, 4th season in Orlando. He's a very good basketball player. Weird his numbers went down from the 2nd to 3rd season. His minutes stayed relatively similar, but he got a couple more minutes this year. Mike Stauffer, Coach of the Year. We do go 70-12 here in our 4th season in Brooklyn. Stauffer's 3rd year here as our head coach. So standings-wise, obviously take the 1 seed Cavs at the 2 seed at 52 wins. Pelicans back on top of the West. It was weird. It just felt like something was missing from my life. when they weren't the 1 seed. Cam Thomas continues to lead us in scoring. That deal looks more of a bargain every single day. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, obviously, I hate, like, I don't want to throw Simmons out of that big 3 conversation, but, like, maybe I'll say big 4. Like, it's kind of weird because, like, it's a different way to kind of describe it. Like, if you remember, Celtics were obviously one of, if not the first team to kind of have a big 3 when they traded for Kevin Garnett. And Ray Allen added them to Paul Pierce. That was like their big 3. But a lot of that time, some would say it was a big 4 because they included Rondo in it. You can kind of call this a big 4, if not a big 5 with Nick Smith. But I don't know who's maybe like that 4th guy. Is it either Cam Thomas or is it Ben Simmons at this point? Interesting. I don't really know. I'm just kind of saying shit at this point. I don't really know what I'm saying. I think I'm kind of making sense. Hopefully y'all understand me. But yeah, more importantly, the playoffs. And the Celtics, who are still a very good team, lost Jason Tatum. Never mind. They're not going to probably win a game against us. They win 1. And we win in 5. I don't know how you let Jason Tatum walk away. I really don't. It's Markelle Fultz. So Jalen Suggs, as you can see, has progressed all the way up to a 92 overall. I did a Magic rebuild the other day. He capped it at like an 87 and honestly kind of sucked for me. He's doing a lot better here. Obviously, the teams that are built around him here and, you know, the one that I had are a lot different. It's just weird to see how progression works with the guys you do end up adding to whatever team you do end up making. We're up 3-1 here on the Magic. We go 3-2. We're going to Game 7 here. There's a lot of talent there. I'd still say we're far and away a better team. We win in 7 games. Wow. The Sacramento Kings. Oh, please, if there is a God out there, let me face that team. We got to get through the Cavs first, though. Is this like the 3rd straight year we've played them? They're a very good team. I mean, I don't even, I can say they're young, but at this point, the guys are probably all pretty close to their prime. So we do win in 5. Looks like it's going to be the Pelicans, and it is. Here we go. CJ McCollum at the age of 34, still going strong. Well, he's still going. I don't know if strong is the right word. Herbert Jones, Jerry Easton II, pretty sure he just won Rookie of the Year. Oh, good. You have... Oh, fuck. Oh, goody. This is exactly what we need. 2 generational prospects in the same front court. Nick Claxton, I need you to have the series of your life here, man. We are up 2-1 here against the Pelicans. It's 2-2, so it is a best of 3 now. Game 5 is a big game. We win. Can we close them out in 6 and win our 3rd straight finals? We do! And Kevin Durant wins his 3rd straight finals MVP as we head into the 5th and final season. If he retires, I'm going to override it just because I'm going to be a little bit of a bitch. But no, he doesn't retire. Let's hit the draft lottery. I do not... Oh, wow. I saw... What is that? Oh, that's an unprotected Spurs pick. Let's see what it ends up at. It ends up at number 10. So we fall 1 spot. It's not horrible, but I will definitely take that. Wrong button. No. Stauffer, not going anywhere. All right, we're cool there. So we now have another high draft pick. I don't really know what I want to do with it. I will not leave this team exactly the same way. It obviously does get boring. Just for shits and giggles at this point, I might look to upgrade Nick Claxton. I mean, he's obviously been serviceable enough, and we've won 3 straight championships with him as our starting center, but you can only do so much. So let's find a trade. We're going to try to get James Wiseman here from the Golden State Warriors. He's been really solid for them. Around 17 to 19 points pretty much in the peak. He's always double-digit rebounds, it appears. So he is an upgrade, obviously, over Claxton and Durant Sharp. Only reason I'm making this trade, this is the 10th overall pick, by the way, and only really considering this is just because it's the final year, and I want to spice it up a little bit. So I didn't necessarily think that was going to go through. We had one more pick in James Wiseman, officially the newest member here of the Brooklyn Nets. So we are definitely in the market now for a new backup center. We didn't have any other draft picks, did we? I just want to double check and make sure we do not. So we'll hit team player options. Nick Smith definitely coming back. I don't think we have any other really big free agents. Derek Queen, yeah, sure. Good name. He's not going to get another deal from anywhere else. Oh, yeah, never mind. We do have a big free agent. Never mind. That's a 2-year, $74 million deal here from the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, I mean, wait, 2 years, $74 million. Wait, how much fucking money are you giving them? Holy shit, that's like a lot of fucking money. What is that? That's almost, that 30, yeah, it's like $37 million a year. Holy shit. All right, well, I got to step it up a little bit. I'll just give them 40. I mean, there's no trade clause because, like, I can't lose Kevin Durant, but that is a fat fucking offer. Jesus Christ. We'll replace Malachi Flynn as well. Ultimately, I mean, he's serviceable enough, but I can get somebody else. I mean, it's not too big of a hit. That being said, I mean, we look at the options here. A guy like Spencer Dinwiddie, Aaron Holiday's here. I'm also looking at the backup center options. Not really anybody I'm really loving. So would I prefer a 33-year-old Dinwiddie who really kind of wasn't good last year? Aaron Holiday probably going to be my guy here. So Aaron Holiday, welcome to the Brooklyn Nets. And now my center options. I could also just bring back Malachi Flynn, then maybe trade him. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to bring back Malachi Flynn. I'll give him somewhat of a real contract, and then I'll throw him couple picks in a trade, and we will see what we get for the backup center option. So I didn't want to. I've obviously changed minuscule things as we move throughout this rebuild. I didn't want to leave it basically for the final season. We've won 3 straight championships. There's really no reason to. So we're not seeing any center options. How about I sort by centers who are making like $7 million, which obviously the cap is shot up, so it's probably not a lot of guys, probably guys on their rookie deals. And obviously a lot of free agents. So who's the first guy with an actual contract here? A lot of free agents, Jesus. It's Kevon Looney. He's 30 years old. I'll take him. I mean, if it's possible, not Aaron Holiday. You know, he's a good option, I guess. I mean, we're basically just getting 2 Warriors centers at this point. But yeah, cool. Kevon Looney, welcome to the Brooklyn Nets. 9-man rotation heading into the 5th and final season. 3 straight championships. Let's see if we can make it 4. We made a major change to the starting 5 with the addition here of James Wiseman. We said goodbye to Nick Claxton. We said goodbye to Durant Sharp. And James Wiseman, newest Brooklyn Net here. He's hopefully going to be really good for us. I'm excited to see how this team does. I'm actually, I'm not going to actually change anything. I was in a little bit of a dilemma for a second just because Nick Smith's up to an 88 overall. And, you know, Cam Thomas, his progression kind of, like the overall department kind of ended, but there's just no reason, like, I can have him come off the bench. So he's not as high of an overall as Nick Smith is, but he's still really, really good. So here's how it's going to look. Kyrie and Cam Thomas continues to be the backcourt. Kevin Durant, age 38 now. God damn. Ben Simmons, a big contract we gave him. Then James Wiseman, big trade addition. Nick Smith obviously going to take that 6-man spot. I'm really mad because I feel like we're not necessarily using him and as much as we maybe could, but I'm going to still go with Cam Thomas. Trey Johnson, Kevon Looney, and Aaron Holiday. This team's won 3 straight. Let's see if we can make it 4. See you guys at the end of year 5. It was a very brief break from MVPs for Luka Doncic. He wins 4 out of 5 in today's video. This one, again, doesn't count. It's on triple-double. But, yeah, he's very, very good. Is he a 99? No, he's a 98. If you're going to make anybody, like 5 or 6 years down the line in the NBA, a 99 overall, it should probably be Luka Doncic. I can't see another argument. You know, you can probably still throw Giannis up there in 5 years, but, like, Luka, come on. 1 seed for the 4th straight? Yes, I believe 4th straight season here in Brooklyn. Also won in the power rankings. Marcus Johnson, rookie of the year for the Lakers. Years 2026, the Lakers still suck, and they finally get their draft picks back. Markelle Fultz, 6th man of the year, former number 1 overall pick. I mean, it looks like he's actually found his stride a little bit. Never really lived up to the hype, but shit happens. Isaac, defensive player of the year. Isaiah Loheim, most improved. We go 69-13. Fucking nice. We win Coach of the Year. Rockets, 1 seed over there in the West. We are only 9 games ahead of the Magic. Did he win Most Improved or did he win 6th Man of the Year? It definitely had to be 6th Man of the Year. What in the world? I don't know. Maybe they adjusted their rotations already or what it was. But cool, 2K. Good job. Cam Thomas up to 24 points a game, 5 boards, 3.5 assists. You can't talk me out of starting this man. Nick Smith, our 2nd leading scorer. It's just so weird to see like other guys kind of taking over the Brooklyn Nets. KD's down to 18 points a game. Kyrie took a pretty big dip as well. You know, he'd been pretty consistent around 21.5 points a game for us. Took a little bit of a dip this year. He is 35 years old, so it's pretty understandable. Rest of the list goes on and on. Rebounds was led by James Wiseman, our superstar trade. Well, not superstar, but our star trade edition. Ben Simmons leads us in assists. It's going to be the Miami Heat here in the 1st round. Mikey Williams, Tyler Hero, Nasir Cunningham, Şengün, Bam Adebayo, Mitchell Robinson, Bold, and Omer Yurtseven, and Marquise Chris. How many fucking centers do you need? I mean, my God almighty. We sweep them in round 1, moving on to the Detroit Pistons. Terquavion Smith, Cade Cunningham, MPJ, Jordan Nora. You got a 72 overall starting. I'm really not worried about it too much. Winning 5 in the Battle of New York here in the Eastern Conference Finals to end this video. Tyrese Proctor, Chris Livingston, Carter Knox. Is he related to Kevin? I goddamn hope not. Oh. I can't get away from him. It's like that. It's like annoying. It's like an annoying fly that just flies around and like you try to smack the fucking shit out of it and kill it and you just can't. It just never goes away. And that's what Zion Williamson is for me in these videos. I don't even know. That's an insane front court, him and DeAndre Ayton. That being said, they are the Knicks at the end of the day, and we sweep them. Moving on to the NBA Finals, the Sacramento Kings, who have added Lonzo Ball. Look, I like Lonzo a lot. That being said, if he's your best player on a team, you're not going to win a championship. Let's just be honest. Let's look ourselves in the mirror. We're going to win our 4th straight championship. I'll hop in and get a little bit of gameplay. Video has probably been long enough. But, you know, we can talk about the Nets. We can shoot the shit for a little bit. And, yeah, why the hell not at this point? I know some of you guys enjoy gameplay. If you don't enjoy gameplay, you can just more than welcome to end the video at this point. 2-point game. Let's see if we can not blow it. Here in Sacramento in Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Now, those are words I never thought would come out of my mouth in a million years. But we are up by 2 here, trying to have the clean sweep here on the Sacramento Kings. And it's a goal I'd really like to accomplish here. So we're going to just give it right into Ben Simmons. That's how you dunk the fucking basketball. I mean, goddamn. I still can't get over to this day. And look, I said it to kind of open this video. I hope Ben Simmons has a really... No, put Kevon Looney in there. Obviously, Wiseman fouled out. Ben Simmons did not have the best tenure with the 76ers. Sure, there were some bright moments, and sure, there was some bad moments, as I'm sure we all know. But I still can't get over when he passed the ball in that game in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Who the hell did he pass it to? Did he pass it like Tobias Harris? It was a Matisse Thybulle, I think, actually. Like, he had that's a horrible play. He had a wide open fucking dunk. Like, and he just, like, I think he was just so in his own head at that point that, like, god damn, that was just... I like, that's where it all obviously came crashing down. He never played another minute for the Philadelphia 76ers. And, like, you feel bad when guys get in, like, slumps like that. But in that situation, in that big of a moment, you're an NBA player. You're a number 1 overall pick. Dunk the fucking basketball. So I'm hoping KD has 10 points. That sucks. I'm hoping he can kind of figure it out with the rest of his career. And obviously, hopefully, a new home. That's Jesus Christ. In Brooklyn can hopefully kind of figure that out. I'm excited to see him play alongside 2 really good established players like Kyrie Irving, like Kevin Durant, both of which can create their own offense. I'm fucking dog shit at this fucking game. Both of which can create their own offense, and hopefully that can kind of give Ben Simmons a little bit of an edge. Obviously, Ben Simmons isn't going to be, shooting threes and probably shooting mid-range or anything like that. But I think if he finds the right role in Brooklyn, where obviously he's going to help anchor that defense, where, let me tell you, that Brooklyn Nets defense, I just watched my Celtics kind of go ahead and get torched. I don't want to say torched. There were actually a lot of close games in there. But, like, that Nets defense wasn't necessarily up to standard. So, I'm hoping that Simmons can kind of help with that. I'm not sure the exact starting 5, the way it's going to look. I know a lot of people would probably say that you got to get TJ Warren in that starting 5 if he is fully healthy. And I kind of agree with you. Again, I'm not saying... I didn't even hit fucking square. I wasn't even on Kevon Looney. I was on KD. A lot of people are probably going to say if TJ Warren's healthy, start him. And I don't necessarily disagree with you. Again, I'm not expecting Cam Thomas to necessarily progress like he has in today's video. I'd be excited to see him in a starting 5. That being said, you can also make a really strong case for, having Seth Curry or Joe Harris in there, 2 really good shooters that you could definitely use around a guy like Ben Simmons. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Nonetheless, I think there are some really good options no matter which way you go there with that Warriors team. With that's a horrible fucking... I don't even know what I'm just fucking around. It's a 3-point game. I shouldn't be. There's some really good options with that Nets team. So, as a Celtics fan, this sounds weird to say because I think the Nets are going to be a lot better than they were last year, and they were a good playoff team. They just ultimately lost a lot of close games. I think the Nets are going to be better. But if I had to pick a team for Kevin Durant to be on that was in the Eastern Conference, I want it to be the Nets. And that's coming from a Celtics fan. Like, I think him on the 76ers, you're obviously going to probably be keeping Embiid, and you're going to be keeping Harden. Like, that's a big 3 that terrifies me. If he goes to the Toronto Raptors, maybe doesn't scare me as much as a team like the 76ers. The Heat would have scared the shit out of me. So, ultimately, I'm happy that he's with the Brooklyn Nets. That being said, they are going to be tougher competition this year. So, obviously nothing's just given to you. I cannot wait for basketball to start back up. Obviously, I'm really excited for football too. But, I'm looking forward to see, hopefully, Ben Simmons 2.0 and a revitalized career at that. I think he can do good things. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see what kind of happens with the whole Kyrie Irving saga if he ends up leaving after this year, if he doesn't get that contract extension that he's looking for. Kyrie, LeBron, Anthony Davis, that's a hell of a big 3. That sounds like a lot of missed games, but... It's still a very scary big 3 to kind of think about. But obviously, we got this upcoming season, which I could not be more excited for. We're obviously going to win this championship. I'll see you guys with the finals MVP. What a straight kick in the fucking dick. I'm assuming we probably just swept them. I can't imagine we blew that lead, but we obviously just got the fun 2K glitch to end this already really long video. So I'll try to keep this short. I didn't mention it earlier in this video, so if you missed yesterday's video and you are still watching today, if I sound weird or I don't think my energy was down at all, I have COVID currently, which absolutely fucking blows. It sucks. I have like headaches all the time, and I have like a stuffy nose, and I get chills at night, and it sucks, and it's fucking brutal. It's my 2nd round with it. First time actually wasn't that bad, but this time, not so fun. So it does suck, and obviously I'm still trying to get out daily content. I did miss a day on Monday, but hopefully we're pretty much back to daily at this point. And I do apologize about missing that day, but I just felt like fucking dick. It would have been a horrible video. But nonetheless, enough about me. I know most of you guys probably don't even care. So let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. Of course, if you are new around here, we'd love to have you in the community. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. Every single one of you guys does count. The growth since we hit 30K has been crazy, so I cannot thank you guys enough. The views have been going up, the likes have been going up, the comments have been going up. It's all absolutely beautiful, and it could not be done without you guys. So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I seriously do appreciate it, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds. Let me know your thoughts on the Brooklyn Nets, along with anything else, along with any other video ideas. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.